Well, happy Independence Day. So, we've been down for a week, and this Saturday is the 4th of July. We're heading back in town because we have some friends who are going to have a celebration, and we wanted to celebrate with them. But I wanted to do something for Independence Day, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with Hillsdale College. It's in Topeka, Kansas, and I've subscribed to it and done some courses. Incredible nonprofit institution. So, but I get a letter or a news publication, Imprimis, and in this one, there's an article by Christopher Flannery, and it's how to think about the American Revolution. So, and it's got a really good article on it. But what I wanted to talk about was the Great Seal of the United States. And I know I used to talk to my classes about this during junior RTC. So one of the things I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to show you the $1 bill. Okay, and you can see the grill and stuff here. Okay, because we're going to talk about on the back of the $1 bill is the Great Seal. So I'm going to plagiarize from Mr. Flannery, and I'm going to read this article that he wrote. And it's just, I really like it. So hopefully you will too. So the Great Seal. On July 4th, 1776, the very day that the Continental Congress declared that the American people were going to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. It appointed a committee to design and propose a seal for the United States of America. And this seal was to be the official expression of the sovereign authority Americans were fighting for in the War for Independence. To show how serious Congress was about the matter, it put Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams on the committee, which submitted recommendations a month later. The long, hard war delayed action on this matter. 4 years went by before a second committee was formed, which made its own recommendation. 2 years after that, while peace talks were underway in Paris, a third committee was formed. At this point, the need for a seal was more pressing because an independent United States would want an official symbol of its newly won sovereignty, an official seal for any peace treaty to be signed. Charles Thompson, who was Secretary of the United States Congress and a founding father of whom most of us haven't heard of, was asked to take the recommendations of the three committees into account and submit a proposal for a Great Seal. To begin to understand his work, one need only look, as I said, on the back of an American $1 bill, on which the right side depicts the front and the left side depicts the back of the Great Seal of the United States. Now remember, heraldry is the discipline of designing coats of arms, armorial bearings, and such things, and the Great Seal of the United States is a product of the art of heraldry, along with the art of statesmanship. In designing it, the arts of the old world were used to create a coat of arms that would be the official expression of sovereign authority of a nation that understood itself to be an inaugurating a new order of the ages. Thompson submitted to Congress what heraldrists call a blazon, accompanied by remarks and explanation. On June 20th, 1782, it was approved that same day. A blazon is a written description in heraldic terms describing the appearance of the proposed seal. No sketch or illustration accompanied it. Thompson's words alone, which are part of the law officially approving the seal of the United States, is what it means. Reading the blazon along with Thompson's remarks and explanations while studying the back of our dollar bill can teach us important things about the meaning of the revolution we have inherited and are meant to pass on for our posterity. On the front of the Great Seal, we behold an American bald eagle bearing on its breast a shield with 13 vertical stripes, clutching in its left talon 13 arrows, and in its right talon an olive branch. The eagle's head is turned right towards the olive branch. A scroll held in the eagle's beak bears the familiar motto in Latin, E pluribus unum, and a crest above the eagle's head contains 13 stars, from which a glory emanates, breaking through a cloud. This is our nation's official coat of arms. All the 13s represent, of course, our 13 original American states. The Latin motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, expresses the joining of these states into one nation. In his explanation, Thompson tells us that the shield is borne on the breast of an American eagle without any other supporters to denote that the United States of America ought to rely on their own virtue. The olive branch and arrows denote the power of peace and war, which exclusively vested in Congress. In heraldry, the right side is always superior to the left side, and the eagle's head is turned to the olive branch, the symbol of peace, rather than to the arrows, because we fight wars for the sake of peace. On the reverse side of the Great Seal, we see, in Thompson's words, a pyramid, unfinished. In the zenith, an eye and a triangle surrounded with glory proper. Over the eye, these words, Nuit Coptus, which means he approves of what has been started. On the base of the pyramid, the numerical Roman numeral letters MDCCLXXVI, 1776, and underneath the following motto, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means new order of the ages. Thompson explains, the pyramid signifies strength and duration. The eye over it and the motto allude to the many signal interpositions of Providence in favor of the American cause. The date underneath is that of the Declaration of Independence, and the words under it signify the beginning of the new American era, which commences from that date. We still live in that new American era. Like the unfinished pyramid under the eye of God, the earthly work of American freedom, aspiring to be worthy of divine approval, is always unfinished. We have, since 1776, experienced many more signal interpositions of Providence in favor of the American cause. So long as we continue in good conscience to appeal, as we did in our beginning, to the supreme judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, we may, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, like Americans of all preceding generations, with good heart, pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor in the greatest of earthly causes. Again, that was written by Christopher Flannery. So I hope you find time to celebrate with friends, family, however you want, this 4th of July. I've enjoyed this past week. It's a beautiful day. Thank God for everything that He has blessed us with. And as always, love you. Hugs and prayers.